I'm having to use my brother's one. Mine's actually yellow, but mine had maggots in the straw. Hello everyone and welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a tea talk, even though I'm not actually drinking tea. I'm actually just drinking water straight out of this Transformers promotional cup that was out when like the last movie came out in the cinema. This is my brother's cup, by the way. And I just don't want tea tonight. I actually was like craving water, so I'm just drinking water tonight. That's another reason why I've been wanting to put off doing the tea talk, is because I haven't been wanting to drink any of my herbal teas. I have been wanting to do drink my caffeinated ones, but it's like 8:30 at night and I'm not drinking a caffeinated drink of any sort at this time of night. Anyway, so if you don't know what a tea talk is, basically these are little update videos where I sit down, I tell you guys what's been going on, the important things in my life. I usually drink a cup of tea, but I have water with me tonight, and so on and so forth. So if you guys are wanting to see what I have been getting up to since my last tea talk, which I will link it in the description box down below, so please check it out, then just keep watching. So the biggest thing that has been going on lately is job hunting. I have been looking for jobs so much. And sorry, I need to actually rephrase that. I have been applying for jobs so much. It is like nearly mid-October and I have yet to find a job from looking since mid-March. I actively, I did my resume up at the beginning of March. I had some teachers at TAFE look over it, and my stepdad used to work in recruiting. I had him look over it. That took me about a week or so to get it done, and then I printed off, like, no joke, 70 copies. That included my cover letter, my resume itself with my references and everything on it, stapled them all together, and I went and handed them out in person. Not all of them at once, because if everyone suddenly wanted to hire me, I didn't want to be bombarded with 70 different interviews. I handed out about 3 to 5 at a time. I'll do that, say this week, and then I'll wait a week, and then I'll start again and hand about another 3 to 5. I don't want to hand out too many and then be bombarded with so many different interviews, which I have asked people who worked in recruiting. I've asked people if that's the right thing to do, and they've said yes. Handing them all out at once and then being bombarded with everything is just not a good idea. So I am doing that one at a time. And so far, there's been absolutely nothing. I have literally had one place get back to me, and that was in like April. That got back to me that said they'd already filled their position. No one has actually contacted me at all. Even if they just tell me, look, our positions have been filled, I don't care, as long as they let me know. But I have had people say, oh look, yes, we're hiring, we interview everyone, and then we will put on the people that we think are suitable, and then it's like we'll employ 10 people for the Christmas rush, and then if we like you, we'll keep you on permanently. And I said, yes, that's great. Now I've done that for the reject shop. I've done that for even Target, the supermarkets, our retail store here called Big W. I have done it for, there's a shoe place called Shoes and Socks. I don't know if it's just where I am or if it's Australia wide, but I've applied there. It's actually where I got my new Asics shoes from. And they said, look, we'll call you within the next week, and that was 4 weeks ago. So I have yet to see anything from them, and they promised me an interview, and I have gone to some places again and again and asked them, and I've also left some places alone and not bothered them at all once I've handed my resume in. So at the end of the day, I have been asking people, and the only thing that people can come up with for why I haven't had an interview is because I have been out of the workforce for well over a year now. I haven't had a day at work since August 23rd, 2017. So because I worked the Wednesday night, I had the Thursday off, and then I broke my foot on the Friday. So I haven't had a day since then, and my mum keeps telling me, or she used to tell me it was my fault, because basically she wanted me to start handing out my resumes like the day after I got the boot off my foot, even though I couldn't walk. And then I had like such a mentally dark Christmas period, I literally was not even mentally ready to think about that. Like, I was nearly on the edge of a panic attack just thinking about having to deal with how I was feeling plus going to work. And since I've been put on my different pill, I have to say that feeling has completely gone and disappeared. I'm fine. But it's just so frustrating that I am applying for jobs I am underqualified for, jobs I'm overqualified for, and ones that I don't even have any qualifications, but I've told them that I don't care, I will get the qualification. And I'm qualified to do anything from owning a restaurant, working in a bar, owning a cafe or a bar or anything. I can do all that. I've done the managerial course. I have got my RSA, so I can work with alcohol. That means I can work in a bottle shop. I'm over the age of 18, so I can also work there. I have also been qualified to do travel agency, which therefore the skills that you learn in that job, you are also qualified as well to do things like call center jobs, customer service, and things like that. Plus, my experience at McDonald's was in customer service. I was on the front desk, on the cashier, literally every single day for like 2 years, and it was a joke. But I think 2 years is enough of experience. Even though it was between the ages of 14 and 16, it shouldn't matter. It's just really frustrating. Some days I want to literally burst into tears and cry because I have enough money to survive. I don't have enough money to live. Like, if my friends turned around tomorrow and they were like, hey, do you want to come to the movies? It's like, oh, sorry, I can't, because my grandmother's trying to pay off my mum's bills because my mum won't work, and it's just hectic at the moment. And it's like, I have enough money to pay my phone bill, pay my car loan, and put petrol in the car. That's basically what I need. Other than that, anything else is a bonus, but it's like, I just don't have enough. The price of petrol's going up so much now that instead of putting $40 of fuel in my tank, I need to put like 60 to 80, and that is just ridiculous. I think I've waffled on long enough about that topic, so I'm going to move on to my next one. My next one is something that might be a little bit odd, but I thought I'd mention it just to put it in here for something different, and it's that I've actually been rewatching the Twilight movies and reading the books. I had nothing to do the other day. I'm on TAFE holidays, and I've got another week, 5 days to go till I go back, and I have done my assignments and I literally had nothing to do, and it was bucketing down rain, so I couldn't go out and do my exercising. I had done my at-home exercise that I do when it's raining, and I didn't really want to be using my computer all day because I know my mum starts to get very, very agitated and angry when she sees a young person using a computer. And she's been complaining about my brother doing it all the time, so I thought, well, I'll sit down and read some of my books. So I couldn't decide what ones to read because I've got like millions, and I just grabbed the Twilight book, put my glasses on. I actually sat down on the lounge here. I was actually sitting on that rug because it used to be laying across the lounge because my grandmother literally finished it like a week ago or more, and it had been laying across the lounge so I could stretch it out properly. But I got my fluffy yellow throw rug, I put it on my lap, I had like really comfy clothes on, and I sat there. This was, when was it? Today's Friday, and this was on Wednesday. I sat down, I read the first book and got halfway through the second one in one day. That was just on Wednesday. And then yesterday, which was Thursday, I actually finished the second half of New Moon, and I am halfway through Eclipse. And I would have been reading it today, but I actually wanted to get ahead on some videos because my mum's not here this weekend, and I will be busy predominantly on Sunday. And after I finished what I need to do on Sunday, I just want to come home and relax. So I filmed like 2-3 videos this afternoon, which is fantastic. So, also because I had nothing else to do, but I mean, my mum's not here, so I can, and that's what I've been doing. So that's why I'm filming a tea talk now. But it was just nice sitting down and just relaxing and doing basically nothing. I was reading a book and I was comfortable, I was warm. It was absolutely bucketing down with rain, so it was cold outside. I was perfectly warm, but I could hear the rain, and like my cat came in and she sat on my lap for most of the time, and then she fell asleep like under the throw rug next to me, and it was so cute. And it was just like literally the most relaxing day I think, or 2 days I think I had ever had in my life. For the first Wednesday was still a little bit like hyped up. I was still a little bit more on edge because I was like, well, because my mum was actually leaving me alone. She wasn't like in my face like she usually is. And for once I was like, is this real? Like, is she actually leaving me alone? Am I actually getting something done? And I was like, typical, it's like the one time I have literally nothing to do and I'm doing something recreational that I actually can get through. Like, why can't it be something important that I can get through? But whatever. Anyway, it was just so nice sitting down and doing basically nothing. And then I had a like nice hot relaxing bath, and I used my favorite shower gel, and then I put like my really warm fluffy pajamas on. It was so good to finally sit down and have a day where I did like nothing. I didn't even wash my face. I wiped my face over with a like makeup wipe and a micellar water in the night. Like, I didn't actually even properly wash my face, which is probably a bit disgusting. I did when I was in the bath, I did then. And I only cleaned my teeth. I didn't put makeup on. I didn't like fiddle around with all my makeup. I didn't touch any of it. All I did was just reapply some lip balm throughout the day. I didn't give a damn about my hair. I chucked it up in a ponytail, pinned my fringe back, and I left it. It was just so good, and I could sit here and talk forever about how good it felt. Rightio, so I think I talked about it in my September favourites about how I have lost weight, and I haven't weighed myself in about 2 weeks. 10 days to 2 weeks. I don't want to be weighing myself too much because I don't want to be focusing on the number, just because it will stress me out. And I know that at the moment with it raining so much, it's literally been raining for the past like 10 days, no joke. And it's supposed to rain for like the next 2 weeks again. And with the ground being so wet, I cannot risk going for my walks if I slip and break my foot again, particularly if I'm out there alone. If I hit my head while I'm down on particularly the path that's right in front of our house, if I fall over there, no one will find me for like hours, because there are such thick trees all along the path that no one from the road can see that someone's fallen over. That's why, another reason why I like to buy the really fluoro shirts and shoes, is because then I'm easily identifiable if something like that happens. But because of the rain, I just can't do it, and I literally cannot even think, I had something on my tongue then, I literally cannot even think about applying for like a gym membership. That just like scares me. Not because of the fact of going to the gym, it's more the financial commitment of that. So I've been doing some at-home workouts. I do my squats like I always do. I've been going to start and do some yoga. We bought 2 DVDs. I need to actually find where they went. My mum put them away and I can't find them. But we have Yoga for Weight Loss, and then the other one I think is, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Yoga for Relaxation or something. And my mum's finally, after like 20 years, is actually going to a physio for the problems with her neck. And the physio suggested, because I've been having really bad problems with my back lately, and the physio suggested I start and get into that, and I think I probably should. It might help me relax a bit more. And I was also thinking of taking up like very small bits of meditation of a day. The only problem is I won't be able to do it till like 8:30 at night, and usually, particularly during this like the schooling term, that's when I'm getting all of my work done. I get the majority of my work, like schoolwork, done after dinner, because that's usually when my mum settles down, goes in her room and doesn't bother anyone. So it's kind of like conflicting, like do I relax or do I do my work? And sometimes I'll forget, but I think I really need to start and get into doing those things. Otherwise, I think soon I'm literally going to go insane. But I've been losing weight. Total now, I didn't write down what my exact number was, but I know I was 90 point something kilos. That, as far as I am aware of, is the second heaviest I have ever been in my life. I was the heaviest at the age of 11/12. I was year 6/year 7, and although I was in only, like, I could fit into even though then I was only a women's size 8 in whatever Australian it is, now even though I fit into like a women's 16, I have more muscle on me now, and my weight back then was pure just fat, not just muscle. Because I've been toning up, I've been doing some weights, a lot of this is muscle, and also I still have a lot of the muscle tone from when I was working, because I worked up a hell of a lot of muscle lifting heavy things. I kept that up, particularly in my arms. I've kept that up doing some weights and exercises at home. So a lot of me now, some of me now is muscle, but I was about, my heaviest, I think I was 96 kilos. I don't know what that translates into pounds. I'll actually have a look. So when I was at my absolute heaviest of 96 kilograms, that was approximately 212 pounds. So at the height of 4'10" or just over 150 centimeters, I was 212 pounds or 96 kilos. That was excessively heavy, and I do contribute a hell of a lot of that to me not doing anything. My brain was just so used to me being completely lazy. It was just horrible. But now I am 85, and that's down to 187 pounds. So I have now lost about 5 kilos. Like I mentioned, I'm not entirely sure what my exact point number was when I started, but I know I was 90 point something, and I'm now down to 85.2. So I know that I've lost at least 5 kilos. I think I was 90.45 or something. So I've lost at least 5 kilos, could be nearing 6, honestly, if the number was that low. But yeah, I've lost at least 5 kilos. I'm feeling a lot better. Basically, I think exercising is the only thing that is stopping me from going to my doctor and asking for anxiety medication. I honestly think it's the only thing that's saving me right now. That's my addiction. I don't push myself overboard. I still do what my body limits me to, but it just feels amazing. My next topic is all about my TAFE course. So I am now doing a diploma of travel and tourism. I only need to do the tourism classes. So the travel side and the like management side, I don't need to do, because A, I did the certificate 3 travel, and B, I did my diploma last year. So I have obviously finished and passed the management courses, and I did the certificate 3 travel, so I've obviously passed the travel class. So I basically only join in with the tourism classes, which is only of a Thursday afternoon, which is fine by me. So that's just really good at the moment. I really like it. The teacher that I have now is the only travel teacher I hadn't had. And she's really nice. I really like her. The class is really fun and it's super great. And obviously I think I talked about in my last tea talk, it might have been, that I finished my Cert 3 and I'm obviously now doing the diploma. I have no idea what I'm going to do next semester. I want to hopefully, if I get a job this side of New Year, like the rest of this year, I hopefully will try and stop studying at the end of next semester. Other than that, I will try and stop studying at end of next year, so like December next year, because I have to keep studying in order to keep receiving my government benefits so I can pay everything, because no one else should have to take on my phone bill, car loan and petrol. That is just stupid and ridiculous. Plus also, while I'm not working, I need something to do. Subaru, which I got late July, thanks to my dad, is absolutely amazing. Like, I have not had one issue with it except for the air conditioner. When I got it, the air conditioner was cold, but it wasn't like as cold as what you would expect a Subaru, a perfectly working Subaru air conditioner to be. Now, my air conditioner in my Holden, which was the orange car that I had, was broken when I got it. And they regassed it. They said, oh, it just needs regassing. So they regassed it, and then it turned out the compressor was broken. So like within 2 days of them gassing it, it all leaked out. So I had all that fixed and everything, and once it was fixed, it was perfect. So I know like the signs to look out for when your air conditioner doesn't work. And my biggest thing in my Holden was when my aircon didn't work, the temperature of my car went up. My Subaru doesn't have a temperature gauge. Like at all. It just has a light. So when I first turn it on, the temperature light is blue, and then it'll turn off once the car warms up, and then if the car gets overheated, the light goes red. So that's the only thing I have to tell me how hot the car is. I don't actually have a temperature gauge on this. My dad has one on his, but I don't. And although my car's 2 years newer than his, but I couldn't tell. And I kept telling my dad, I was like, I am sure there's something wrong with the air conditioner. It should be colder than this. Even my 1998 model Hyundai Excel had a better air conditioner than this. Actually, to this day, I still think it's the best aircon I've ever had in a car. But I said, there is something wrong with it. And my dad, in particular, kept telling me, no, you're overthinking it. You had the shitty Holden, and you know, you're just worried there's something wrong with this car. And in the end, I thought, well, I'm going to go insane if I don't get it looked at, because I'm just going to keep second guessing myself and thinking, yes, I am going insane. I am overthinking it. And then, you know, I needed to get it looked at, so I got it looked at, and the evaporator had died. So, to the people who know about cars, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. But unfortunately, I couldn't take it back to the yard I bought it at. I had to actually take it back to the Subaru dealership, which is fine. It doesn't bother me. And they had a look at it, and they actually ended up replacing the compressor, and there was something else in it they had to replace. I can't remember what the girl said. Someone dropped something at the same time she said it, and I just didn't fully actually get what she, like, I understood, but I didn't hear the word what she said. So there was something else they had to do with something with the compressor as well. Then they regassed it, and it's working completely fine right now, but they've said that if it doesn't work, if it doesn't stay cold, then I will have to go and get the evaporator replaced. They tried not to replace the evaporator at the moment, because to get to the evaporator in the aircon, they have to take my dashboard off, and that is a very difficult and tricky process, and something they try to avoid. So they've done the compressor and everything first that they could reach, to see if that helps it first before they have to do the more drastic option. Everything is being done under warranty work, and I am so glad, because I negotiated it all myself, because initially they said no, but it's all done. I have a cold aircon, and it's great because now when it's like a bucketing down rainy day, I don't feel like I'm suffocating with the humidity in the car. So I'm just praying to God that after Christmas there is nothing wrong with my car, because it needs to it's scheduled for a service after Christmas. I pray to God there is nothing that's going to be wrong with it. The only other thing I need is I may need new windscreen wipers soon, but my tyres should last me 2 years, my brakes should last me like a year or more, and everything. So it's due for a service like late January, and I'm praying there will be nothing wrong with it. I don't think there is. It may need a wheel alignment, but other than that, don't think there's anything else. But I'm just proud I got it all done myself. I didn't have to bring anyone else into it. I didn't have to get my dad to go and sort of yell at them. I could do it all myself, and I took it over, they got it fixed, I picked it up. I did it all myself, and it's making me feel like a real adult. Okay, so my third last topic is something that sort of ties in with me reading my books and watching the Twilight movies again. I've only been actually watching the movies today. I'm about 30 minutes into Eclipse. I watched the other two like throughout today. But relaxation has been a very important thing to me lately, even if it's just sitting down and staring into the wall for 10 minutes. Like sitting down, reading books, listening to music, laying in bed like comfortably, listening to music or ASMR videos, having a hot bath. Like, my body has been so sore lately, and I know it's not like stress sore, it's physical sore because I have been sleeping twisted around, which is just really bad for your back. Plus, I lifted something the wrong way that was too heavy, and when I was going on my walk about a week ago or more, I was bending over too far, and it just... Basically, I've done everything I could to screw my back up at the moment, and I've been using the heat pack, I've been having hot baths and showers, and I have basically got my dad to like massage it out, and it's so much better. Today was the first day in like, I reckon honestly nearly 2 weeks that I have been able to function properly. It felt like on the left side of my spine, and I can still feel the tenderness there, but it felt like someone had a blade that was about that thick, like top to bottom. Like, this is the top and this is the actual blade that cuts. Like, it felt like it was about that thick, and they'd stabbed it into my back and they'd left it there. Like, it even felt like that searing, burning pain you get in a cut. Like when you can feel the surface of your skin has been cut, it felt like that. And there was even times I had to check to make sure I wasn't bruised. I actually was I had the same dream like 3 nights in a row that the pain never went away, and I went to my doctor, and like I had spinal cancer. Like, I kept having this dream that, like, I don't know, one day I was just walking through the house, I lost the use of my legs, went to the hospital, had CTs done, and they found the tumour. They did like biopsies, and then they found it was cancerous. Like, I've been having those dreams that I've had spinal cancer, and that like the doctor's talking to me, and there's like 20% chance I'll come out being able to walk again, but if we leave it there I'm gonna die. And it's like, oh my god, is that what's gonna happen to me? But the pain's gone away and I can move around a bit more, so I'm a little bit more relieved that it's not coming true. But it was scaring me for a bit, especially because I was having it like multiple days in a row. But relaxation's just been really important. Hot baths with face masks and my favourite shower gel, and like warm bed, warm pyjamas, even though I'm wearing shorts and t-shirt tonight. The nights have been getting a bit warmer lately, even though the days are still cold. That's how I can tell it's spring. But yeah, just wearing comfy clothes. I haven't been getting all dressed up like in all my boots or anything anymore lately. I actually wore my boots for the first time in like 2 months yesterday. Those silver shoes from Big W have actually been blaming for part of my problem, because I haven't worn them in about 3 days and my like legs have settled down as well, so I think I can't wear them all day every day. That's the problem with my body, is I will find a pair of shoes and I'm like, yes, these are great, I can wear them all day, things like that. But that's the problem with me. I'll find a pair of shoes that I love. So for example, I'm just going to say my A6 shoes that I bought, my bright coloured joggers. I'll wear them for like 2 months and think these are amazing, I can wear them all day every day, they fit me well, they don't hurt, my body doesn't hurt. And then all of a sudden one day it's like my feet just reject the shoes all of a sudden, and it's like my legs hurt, my legs cramp, my knees hurt, my back hurts, everything hurts, and it's like, why? And it's done that my entire life. I, at one point in like year 6 and 7, possibly even year 8, I was almost going to ask my parents if I could be homeschooled, because I literally could not find a pair of shoes I could walk around in. Even just going in between classes was like painful, and it wasn't that the shoes were painful to wear. They weren't rubbing on me, they weren't causing blisters. It was just that they were so like hard and they weren't supportive, because we couldn't afford to keep spending like hundreds of dollars on shoes like all my other friends do. And like, I was having decent pairs of shoes, but nothing, like I mean nothing, felt comfortable. I cannot wear my leather Converse shoes all day every day like some of my friends can. I wore them once or twice when I was working at the restaurant, and I honestly don't even understand how my friends used to be able to wear them working at McDonald's. Like, I had to buy actual work shoes that were like padded and that had like the proper inner soles, and I had to buy the proper socks and things like that just so I could stand up. And my shifts were only like 3 hours when I was working at Macca's, and some of my friends were working there for like 8 or 9 hours a day, in their Converses, and I was like, they're just terrible. I wore them to school, and then now I wore them to TAFE all last year, and this year I've tried to avoid wearing them because they're very, very slippery on the ground. I don't know how many times I actually slipped over at school, but they're just so uncomfortable. I'll give you guys a tiny bit of an update on my hair. So in case you can't tell, the past couple of months I have actually been able to part my hair on the side. So my fringe now is just under my nose, and yeah, I've been parting it on the side because I've been wanting to grow it out. I'm still deciding if I want to keep it on the side or if later, once it's long enough, I want to part it in the middle. I'm still debating about that, but for now it's on the side, because if I part it in the middle it's just gonna look too weird. I can't even just put my hair in a braid around the side yet. It hasn't grown long enough, but it's long enough the majority of it goes back in a ponytail, and I just put the little clips in to secure it in place. But I actually used a dye remover twice. I bought I can't remember what it was called, but there's a dye stripper that comes in it, and there's a dye remover, and the stripper comes in a blue box and the remover comes in a pink box. I've used it twice. I've used the remover twice, and I basically put it just where my dye was, and it has turned it quite orange. So I've noticed this here is all my natural colour. Even this lighter blonder streaks up here are my natural colour. My dye doesn't start till about here, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's a lot more orange compared to my hair. My natural colour, this is the most of my natural colour I have seen in about 6 years. And my hair's coming through a lot more blonde. My natural red tint is disappearing and it's going more gold, and I think that is like my first stage in going grey. I noticed when my fringe was still in the front, I found a couple of grey hairs there, and when I part my hair up here I can see there's a few up in here. So I've got a few grey hairs coming in. Actually they're white because my hair will go white because I was a natural redhead, but my hair no longer has that like orange copper like shine to it that it used to have. It used to look brown, and then when I was in light or the sun it would reflect like copper. Some spots of it have got like a rose gold look, but the majority of it is just like a gold look now, and I think that is like my very first step in going grey. It's like the orange is faded, it's gone to yellow, and then once it goes yellow it will start going grey and white and things like that. I do try and take very good care of my hair. I like desperately need a haircut, but I just can't afford it, so I'm going to try and comb one off my dad next week. I need to thin my hair out, so I'm going to do it again tomorrow. But basically there is a lot less of a difference, even just sitting in this light. There's not that much of a difference between the dye and my natural colour anymore, which is very, very good. I was going to start and like buy up the hair dyes and things to use, because I will need to use about 3 boxes of the lightener just to lighten my hair, and then depending on how uneven it goes or how light it goes, I might need to darken it with a like actual blonde dye. So I might need to buy like 5 or 6 boxes of hair dye, and that can work out quite expensive. I was thinking of like doing it just after Christmas, or using some of my Christmas money to start buying it, but I think now I'm just going to wait till I'm like settled in a job, and then I can just buy them when I want to type of thing, instead of having to like sit down and figure out my budget and figure out everything else. I might wait till I have a job and things like that. It'll let all of my colour come out then. I am using a Pantene shampoo to really dissolve the dye that's in my hair, and it has worked, because when I first used the dye remover, the ends of my hair were like bright orange. I think for those videos I tried to keep my hair pinned back so you guys didn't see, but the ends of my hair were bright orange, and because of me using the Pantene shampoo, I will put it on the ends of my hair and then I'll let that soak in while I rub the shampoo in my roots for like 2 minutes. So it's soaking in my hair for say 2.5 minutes, and yeah, that I find just helps it dissolve it. It does dry out my hair a hell of a lot. And I find that I have needed a haircut a lot quicker since I've started using the Pantene shampoo, and I think since I started using it I might have only gone once or twice without using it, but so far it's worked really well. My hair is coming back so unbelievably wavy, particularly up in the roots. I haven't been blow drying my hair at all lately as well, because I have been wanting to use less heat and things on it because of me needing to get a haircut, and I haven't been wanting to make it even worse. So I've been putting the oil in the ends and then letting my hair naturally air dry, which has been working. Often I go to bed with slightly damp or wet hair, which is okay. I haven't been using any heat, so I haven't been straightening it or anything, but it's been going very wavy. But yeah, I think I've decided I'll wait till I'm settled in a job. Definitely, even if I get a job next week, like definitely I'll still wait till at least after Christmas, because the ends of my hair are still quite orange. I don't want it to go pink or anything. So I still have to wait a bit anyway, but I think I might wait till I'm like fully settled in a job. I have got some money behind me, and after Christmas I will have some more, which is a little bit more comforting to know. Like, I have car rego in like April, and that's coming up really quick all of a sudden. And even though after Christmas I'll have most of the money, it's like I still don't want to be left with like 10 bucks left when I take all the money out, because my car rego was like $900. Actually, I paid the rego on my Holden and it was like $984, which is ridiculous. But it might be a bit cheaper because we suddenly got all the refunds last year, but whatever. That again went off on a tangent. And my last update is I want to give you an update on my foot. And I went and saw my specialist at the beginning of August. I saw him on the 1st of August, and he basically discharged me. He's keeping me in the system because he said I have approximately, and this is like such a vote of confidence, I have approximately an 80% chance of doing it again in the next 5 years, because my foot is just weak, and it's not just my foot now, it's my knee. I need to be very careful about what I'm doing, where I'm stepping, and what shoes I'm wearing. So he told me he's going to keep me in the system because next time he will have to go in and operate, just because it's my 4th break. And he said basically the body can heal after 3 and go back to relatively normal, but once you get the 4th one, he said it's almost like the body won't heal on its own. So he said he will have to operate if I have it done again, so he'll keep me in the system. But other than that, he told me he doesn't want to see me again. My foot's been doing really well. It's actually been my knee that's been playing up on me a little bit more lately. I've noticed on my leg, my bad knee, bad foot, I can't go down as far in my squats as I used to be able to. Like, that's in my foot. I can't bend my foot back as much as I used to be able to. Like, I used to be able to dip down quite far. Like, I can squat on the ground and everything, but I can't do like the professional squat that I do. I can't go down as far because my foot just won't move. And that's a little bit worrying because I've been doing like 100 squats a day for like 10 months. I've been doing it since like mid-January, and that's quite worrying, and I'm not sure if it's just a period of time my foot's going through, if it's just going through something or what, but the pain is going away. My shoes are great. It is still worrying me a bit about how my whole leg will cope if I get a job that's on my feet all day, but at the end of the day I need a job, and it's something that I have to weigh up. Do I need to look for a job to sit down, which therefore narrows my options a lot more, or do I just get a job and like push through it and ignore it? But at the same time, if I'm in so much pain all the time, if I'm constantly having excessively bad cramps and I'm dropping things and like I'm not able to get up and down on ladders and step ladders and things like that, it's like I have to weigh up the options of what's safe for me. But overall, my foot's been really good. He didn't want to do surgery. He still, even if I do it in like, even if I break my foot again in like 3 years time, he said he'll still be very concerned about doing the surgery. He usually doesn't recommend doing these surgeries on people that are like under 50, because he said it's like, there's like a 20% chance the surgery won't work and your foot will either be the same or worse than what it was before you had it. And he said like with that 20% chance, he said he doesn't want to take that risk and have it not work on me at the age of like say 22, because therefore I may never work again if that happens, if it comes out worse. The pain will be bad, I'll be on medication, like I may never work again. So it's really hard to weigh up the options, and it's quite sad but also frustrating in a way to see like if the specialist himself is unsure about whether or not he wants to do it. It's making me unsure like, if it comes down to me needing it, it's going to make me unsure if I should make the decision to do it. Even if it takes him like a year to deliberate if he wants to. Like, if he's unsure, I'm going to be unsure. And that's probably going to stick in my mind for the rest of my life now, but something I have to put up with. Okay guys, I've been sitting here for long enough. I really need to go to bed. I need to stop talking because I think everyone has gone to bed. So thank you so much for watching. All my social media sites will be in the description box down below, as well as everything else that applies to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button down there, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.